Hello everyone, hope you're well and welcome to my polytunnel. So I'm going to be showing you what I've been doing with the tomatoes. Some of them have actually developed quite well over this past week, so I've been putting them on into bigger pots. But I do need to sort out the squash. Now some of them I have planted in the beds in here, but some of them are still in the little seed trays, so I'm going to be putting those on today and just showing how they've developed. So these are the pink banana squash, and as you can see, I've done a couple in these little trays, but they desperately need to be potted on now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pot them, probably each one, into this sort of sized pot until they're ready to actually plant it out. They will be planted in the polytunnel as well, because the pink banana squash, jumbo pink banana squash, do like the warmth, which we're not going to get outside, so I will be planting them in here. They do actually get quite long, to about sort of 15 foot or so, I think some of the vines did previously. So they do need plenty of space, but they're well worth growing because they're really tasty squash to grow. But yeah, let's get potting on. Not actually much space on my potting bench to do anything now with all the tomatoes there, so I think I'm going to have to move some. There's the snail cup. Woo! Right, so let's pot these on. Breaking it up a little bit so that any chunks are all broken up. I think that gives us a nice base for them. A bit more in that one. So I'm just going to gently pull them out. There we go. Oh, we've got another one growing there as well. It's just taking its time, so I'm going to put that one back in there, and then we'll plant this one up. Little hole, and it goes. Nice healthy root system on there, good healthy leaves. So let's just get it. Just gonna add a bit more compost around the edges, just so it's nice and sturdy. It's indoors anyway, so that the wind isn't going to be rocking it about. So there we go, lovely. So these are the Blue Hubbards squash that I saved the seed from previous ones that I've grown probably about 3 years, 2-3 years ago I think it was. So I saved the seeds and they're actually doing really well. So I started them off again in little cells, then planted them into the larger pots, and then when they were just slightly smaller than this, I planted them in the polytunnel. They do get quite large to the vines, probably about 15 foot or so, so make sure you've got plenty of space for them to grow. You can actually grow the Blue Hubbard outside in our climate, but they do sort of appreciate a little bit of warmth as well, so I'm just planting them in here, and the pink banana ones will go further down in the polytunnel. Really good one to grow, really nice gnarly blue squash, really interesting and very tasty as well, so definitely one to put on your list if you're going to be growing squash. So I've just got to really keep an eye on the watering of them. I'm near enough doing it every day at the moment because it's getting quite warm in here, and the soil that it's in is very, very dry, so just to give it a bit of a good start. And I will see them actually drooping when it gets to late afternoon. They all start drooping, but please don't worry if this happens to yours, because give it a water, within a couple of hours they perk straight back up again. And as you can see, we're starting to get little flowers on there, which will develop a little bit dusty at the moment. This is because when I've planted it, I've turned the pot upside down, and obviously some of the soil's come out, so it's a little bit dusty. But yeah, very pleased with those. Let's have a look at how the grapes are doing. They always look completely dead over winter, the grapes, and then they come back. Let's have a look at that. I mean, looks lovely, doesn't it? So as you can see, they're developing little tiny grapes on at the moment. I've got quite a few bunches of those hiding away. Under there's a few more under there. The sweet seeds that I was talking about last week, I've cut them off now. As you can see, I'm just going to leave them to dry upside down so that all the moisture just drains away from them and they dry really nicely. All I've done is just tucking them up there. It's quite easy. And I'll just leave them there. They've been drying for a week here. Doing really nice. It's turning yellow, so that's obviously a sure sign that it's starting to dry out. So it's probably actually going to take another few weeks before they're ready. But we've no rush for them anyway, so they're all right there. I'm just leaving that. I've left one plant still growing because it's still got flowers on, and whenever I come in the polytunnel I can see all the bees just hanging about all the flowers, so I thought, well, I'll leave that for them. So that's them. But I'm going to clear this area a little bit here because I want to put some tomatoes in. This year I'm going to do mainly the tomatoes mainly outside because I do think the heat is affecting them in here. I don't seem to be getting as much as what I should be doing, so I think that's what it is. So I'm going to do a lot more outside, but I'm just going to clear this area here and put a few in because I've sown quite a few tomatoes anyway, so I can do some out, can do some in, and see how they go there. So I've been working on this part of the garden here, which is, as you can see, all this was covered up, all this wall was covered up with ivy and lots of weeds. So I'll show you what I've been doing with it. So here's the holly and the, I want to say ivy, holly and the ivy, holly and the elder. All this needs cutting back because it is getting quite large there. And obviously I don't want it to take away any light to the vegetable patch. So I've just been cutting it back, and then I've just created a big pile over here that I will move as well over to the compost heap. But here is what I've done so far. So I've just uncovered this wall, and I'm really enjoying actually uncovering it, and it looks lovely, doesn't it? I love the curved tops, all the detail on it. As you can see where they've chipped away, creating the stones. And it looks nice, doesn't it? And this actually runs right down there, so I do need to start clearing that up. But as you can see, the holly and the elder covering it up anyways. So I'm not sure what to do with this space here. It does actually grow some cornflowers in here in early spring, so they'll be popping up again anyway. Actually, actually somebody mentioned to me some wild garlic might be alright there. So it is a bit of a shady spot. As you can see, we've got a bit more there, but that's not been covered up as much. We've got a bit down here, but it's full of moss. We've got lots of weeds and ivy in there from that area as well. Okay, so I'm going to be sowing. I've already sown the marigold French orange boy in these ones here. Just really lightly covered them with compost. And now I'm going to do the calendula, which is Indian Prince. I've grown these before and they've always done really well. And I would really like to try and actually make something with them. Maybe some lip balms or something like that. So we'll try, just sow a few in each cell. As you can see, they're very strange shaped seeds, these. These just need a little bit of compost over the top and then water them. I've started pricking out the leeks, which are mushabra, and I've been transplanting these little spring onions into this pot. They were in these little seed cells here, so I've just pulled one out, the last one, and look how cute they are. That's lovely, isn't it? So I'm just making a hole in this pot, and I'm just going to gently try not to disturb the roots. Just pop that on. We'll have a little pot of spring onions. And how gorgeous is this Sambucus black lace? Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? Look at it. The pink flowers. The stems. Look at the colour of the stems on them. Absolutely love it. It's so beautiful. Potatoes are looking really well, so I'm going to cover these up again. As you can see, some nice growth on them, so I'm going to cover them up until they get to the top of the pot and then just leave them to grow from there. Time to pick some chocolate mint for a lovely brew. So thank you again, and I shall see you again soon. Bye.